A case tying together civil rights, religion, and freedom of speech made its way to the Supreme Court today.
It involves a web designer who does not want to be forced to create wedding websites for same-sex couples.
Colorado is trying to force me to create custom, unique artwork to promote ideas inconsistent with my faith and the core of who I am.
Colorado web designer Lori Smith says the state's anti-discrimination law would force her to create wedding websites for same-sex couples in violation of her religious beliefs. But today's case at the High Court was argued not on the basis of religious freedom, but rather free speech. During the 2.5 hours of arguments, many of the justices appeared to struggle with how to balance the government's interest in upholding the rights of protected classes of people and the free speech rights of artistic business owners who do not want to endorse a message they do not personally believe. Justice Gorsuch, a Colorado native who once sat on a federal court based there, said the state has offered confusing positions, saying a baker could not be required to make an anti-LGBTQ cake, but upheld a law that would force him to make one that could be viewed as pro-LGBTQ. He also referenced that notable case the court heard regarding Colorado baker Jack Phillips just 4 years ago, which left many of the key issues unresolved.
Mr. Phillips did go through a re-education training program pursuant to Colorado law, did he not, Mr. Olson?
He went through a process that ensured he was familiar with...
It was a re-education program, right?
It was not a re-education program.
What do you call it?
It was a process to make sure he was familiar with Colorado law.
Someone might be excused for calling that a re-education
I strongly
program.
disagree, Justice Gorsuch.
The extended arguments were packed full of hypothetical scenarios, from dating websites to pictures with Santa, and where the justices should draw the line when it comes to businesses that are arguably artistic in nature.
But how about people who don't believe in interracial marriage? Or about people who don't believe that disabled people should get married? Where's the line? I choose to serve whom I want